onto the oven. So here we have your oven, and you can see the knobs. The knob on your far left is the piezo ignition. This rotates in a clockwise direction and continuously just turns in a clockwise direction. And every time you spin it, you're going to hear it pop. It'll pop, 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 pop. And as you're doing that, every pop is the ignition of the piezo. Now, you would want to select the burner, and you can see the three middle knobs. The three middle knobs are the burners. So the one on the left is for your back left burner. The one in the center is for that front center burner. And the one on the right is for the rear right burner. The front is a high output burner. So if you need something to burn quickly, then you want to use the front burner. But you will turn that on and then turn your piezo on the far left, and that will ignite the system. Do not turn on the gas for long periods of time and then do the piezo, or else you will have a gas ignition, which could singe your eyebrows, and so you don't want to do that. So get ready to turn the piezo as soon as you basically turn on the gas. This is also a good way to purge the system. Anytime you take a gas bottle out of the system, so you've taken your gas bottles out of the camper and you reinstall one, or you've disconnected and connect to the other bottle, you allow air into the system. Allowing air into the system, air doesn't burn. So essentially you've got air in the lines, so it's a good idea to light your cooktop. Your cooktop might not light the first couple times, but you're purging the air out, allowing the gas to flow, and once you get the igniter to ignite, you let it burn for 20-30 seconds. That pulls the gas into the system and lets the air out. And now things like your furnace and your hot water heater, all those things will light a lot easier. So I recommend that you light your cooktop for 20-30 seconds anytime you've changed out your gas bottle, and that'll allow things to light in the camper much easier. Okay. Finally, you've got the far right dial. That is for the oven. The oven does not light with the piezo ignition. You must light it. So you would open the oven door, and down on the very bottom, you reach your hand back, you will find the ignition point for the oven, and you would have to use either a long match, or you could use one of those clickers. And essentially you're going to turn that knob to pilot. You're going to light the pilot. Once you see the pilot going, you'll get your hands obviously out of there. Then you can turn it in to bake, and then it'll ignite the rest of the oven. You should never travel with the oven on. It should always be off, including the pilot. You should never allow the pilot to be on while you're traveling. So seems like a logical thing, but we need to mention it. This is your oven. I hope this clears things up. Here we have a look at the top of the oven, or the cooktop, and again now you can see the three burners, and again the middle knob for the front burner, and the two flanking knobs for the burners behind them. Remember, the front is the high output. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Remember, again, this is a great way to purge the gas system when you change gas bottles. Here we have a look at your double sink and cutting boards. The cutting boards are raw. They are not treated, so you're going to need to treat them with your favorite cooking oil. So again, these are raw cutting boards, so you're going to need to treat them. Other than that, you should be in good shape. Underneath the cutting boards, you'll see the double sink. You also got the full pull-out faucet. This is the mixer faucet. Pretty self-explanatory. So now you're looking at the outlets next to the cooktop, and obviously a 110 outlet and a 12 volt. The 110 does not work unless the generator is running or you're plugged into shore power. Otherwise, it is dead. The 12 volt will work. It's simply a 12 volt outlet, and you can plug in a USB, and it is basically the power source to your refrigerator. It's also a junction box for your refrigerator, I should say. So now we're looking under the sink, and you can see the back of the hot water heater. You can see the green hose, which is your fresh water fill from the side. That's where the water is traveling down underneath your seat. But what's important here is you're going to see some valves. So you got a red line and a blue line, and you're going to see some valves there. When they're in line, they're on. When they're turned and they're vertical to the lines instead of horizontal and going with the lines, they're off. And these are bypassed. So if you wanted to winter camp and you didn't want to run your hot water heater the whole time, you would turn these, empty your hot water heater, turn these off, and now you've bypassed the system. You're also going to find these same valves for your outside shower. So obviously in the winter you don't want water going to your outside shower. So you're going to find those same valves for your outside shower, which is right here in this. So here are the valves. You can kind of see them behind the green hose right next to the hot water heater. If you look way back there, you can see one of the valves on the red, but there are two. Those are for your outside shower, and you're going to want those off in the winter because you don't want water going to your outside shower.